Good morning, everybody. Michael, the Unseen Addict here. Just wanted to tell everybody good morning and give you a video number 2 on the channel. I appreciate, I know I didn't get many views, but I'm doing this for a hobby and to help as many people as I can. So I just wanted to stop in today and give you a little overall view of my addiction, what I went through as an addict. As a kid growing up, grew up with a single mother, watched her be abused a lot as a child, watched men just take advantage of her mentally, physically, she had a big heart. She worked multiple jobs to make sure that I had food on the table and decent clothes to wear and shoes, and men took advantage of that. Some men made her take care of them as if they were her child. Then some men would just beat her to death. And my biological father never really was around, so I kind of grew up with just stepdads and mom's boyfriends. Excuse me. Then my mom met my stepdad when I was 8, 9 years old, and they got married, and he adopted me when I was 10, 11-ish. I'll go into more of our relationship later on as the channel grows and I get more people and relationships with people. When I was 14, 15 years old, I got my wisdom teeth removed, and my mom kept they gave me a prescription for hydrocodone. My mom kept my prescription so that she could give them to me as needed for pain. And so she would give me one here and there, and I started noticing, because I suffered from depression and anxiety really bad as a teenager, that no other medication ever worked, but hydrocodones would take away my anxiety and depression. They would make me feel normal. So I would tell her, I can remember times we would be out to eat, and I would tell her, man, I'm really hungry, or I'm really hurting bad. And she would give me one, and it was just like a warm hug is what everybody calls it. That's what it was like. I suffered from such strong depression and anxiety. Once it kicked in, I was just like, this is what it feels like to be normal, to be outgoing, to be happy. And once I ran out of those, I noticed Mom had some promethazine with codeine cough syrup, and I would go in the bathroom. It was when I met my first wife. I would go in the bathroom while she was there, and I would go in my parents' bathroom, and I would say I was going in there so that, because I was embarrassed to use the restroom in the same room as her, because we were 16. So I would go in there, and it's clear, so I would, or the bottle is clear, or the bottle's red and the liquid was clear, I think it was. I would drink a bunch of it and then pour water in the container so that you couldn't tell it was missing. Well, little did I know that my addiction was growing at that time, and I never even knew. So I would do that and do that. Well, later on, my mom come to me and starts asking me. She was nice about it. She was laughing because I was grown when she found out. But a family member needed some to help her sleep, and she gave it to her, and she said, "Lisa, did you realize that that was all water?" And at the time, she would have probably flipped out on me, but at that time I was grown, and it was years before that it happened, so it wasn't a big deal when she talked to me. And with me growing up, I was never really around anybody that used drugs, and if I was, they wouldn't let me know, so I never really was around it, technically. So that happened. Well, got older, 26 years old, 25, 26 years old. Me and my wife, that I have 2 daughters by, got a divorce. Terrible time of my life. Lost a lot of weight. Then, when me and my current wife got together, I got a lot of tattoo work done, and I got staph infection in my arm. You know, it'd be hard to show the scars, but like you can see where part of the ink is missing on my tattoo right there. That was one of the scars, but I got it twice. Well, the first time I got it, got hydrocodones. They had to cut it open and drain it. It was pretty gruesome. And I had control of them myself, the hydrocodones. I was grown. Well, I noticed when I was taking them, I was more outgoing. At that time, I was suffering from depression and anxiety so bad that it was crippling. I had no friends. I would stay home alone. I would never go out. The only time I would go out is when I had my 2 daughters with me. Because I would get them every Tuesday, Thursday, and every other Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And, well, I would get them, and I would go out and do things, but when I got those hydrocodones, I noticed, wow, I'm always out. I'm always talking to people, communicating with people, just having a good time. It made me normal. It made me so normal. Well, I ran out and noticed my depression came back, and it came back full force. It destroyed me. Well, I got a staph infection on my wrist that I just showed you, and it was crippling. I couldn't bend my wrist, but the whole time in the back of my mind I was thinking, I'm going to get more hydrocodones because my doctor's going to write me a prescription because I'm in so much pain. So the whole time I'm in pain, I'm excited knowing that I'm going to the doctor to get a prescription for hydrocodone. Well, I was starting to up my dose a little bit, and then I ran out of those. Well, I had heard rumors that somebody close to our family that actually worked for us took pain pills as well. So I went to him and asked him if he could get them for me. Little did I know, when drug dealers find out you're a new user, they sell them to you for dirt cheap. Well, I bought like 60 hydrocodones for like $2 a piece, 10 milligrams. Well, took those and noticed, dang, I'm working 80 hours a week. I can afford some more. Well, 60 more. Next thing you know, they introduced me to oxycodone, a little bit stronger. Buy 60 of those. Well, by that time, I am not only addicted, I'm physically dependent. Well, I'm like, well, I'm just going to stop taking them. I'm spending a lot of money. I'm working all the time, and I don't want to be broke. Me and my current wife, we had just bought a house and just had a new baby, my son, and so I said I was going to stop. After about 14 hours, I feel like I have the flu. Well, I took 2 or 3 that I had left over that I forgot about, and the flu was gone. So I got on Google and started looking into it and realized, oh no, I'm going through withdrawal. So the dealer that I was using introduced me to 30 milligram hydrocodone. Well, after about 6-7 months of those, I was spending all of our money. My wife has a great job. I had a great job. I was going broke, spending thousands and thousands of dollars. And then I got introduced to the drug that would send me in a downward spiral to lose everything except my wife and son. My house, my truck, everything. Family, kid, daughters. I got introduced to Opana. And it was devastating. I was spending large amounts of money, thousands of dollars at a time. And once I got introduced to those, started selling everything I owned. I had a huge toy Power Ranger collection. Sold every bit of them. Sold everything I owned. Lost our house. Lost my truck. Lost my daughters. Got them taken away from me. And it was rough. But the whole time it was happening, all I could think about was, I gotta keep going. I gotta get my next fix. I gotta get my next fix. And I would dabble with heroin when I couldn't afford Opana, or they weren't around because they're kind of sparse here, And so I kept using, and it took a strain on my marriage, took a strain on my life. I'm honestly very thankful that I'm still here. Well, I send someone a text and say, hey, I need some help. I don't know what to do. And they sent me an address to a place I needed to go to that could get me into a detox facility. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about this, but I'll tell you more about my family, and I'll go into a little bit more detail as we go along with this channel. Like in detail with my parents and my wife and my kids, and my form of recovery that I did. But I had my wife pick me up from a home away that I was going in and out of with random strangers to use, and she picked me up and took me to this place, and I went to a detox facility for 8 days. Amazing facility. It's in Chattanooga. I can get you the phone number and address if you ever are interested in it. It's called Park Ridge Valley. It's an amazing place. They took care of me. They got me off of the drugs that I was on, detoxed me, and I came home sober. Feel like a new person. Well, obviously, I'll tell you more about what I'm about to tell you about later on as well. I forgot how to drive sober. So, April 18th, 2016, I got sober March 11th, 2016. A month and 7 days later, I had a car accident. And you might be able to see some of the scars, but I had a car land on my head. There's a scar right there. I had the car land on my head and crushed my skull and caused me to have brain surgery. And they didn't think I was going to make it. And I pulled through very thankfully. Everybody thought I was still using, thought I was still on drugs and yada yada, but I wasn't. And I'm very thankful I pulled through, and my wife stood by me the whole time while I was in the emergency room in rehabilitation from the wreck and everything. Very, very thankful for her in that situation. But like I said, I will continue telling you more about my story, along with many, many other things. This channel is going to be unlimited help, everything. If you could share this video, get the word out. I'm trying to reach as many people as I can to help. I'm going to start trying to team up with facilities to get help for people. And I just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time to, if you comment, say hi. Thank you for that. And I hope you all have an amazing day. And I will see you again soon.